Welcome back, fact lovers. You're about to dive into part 2 of our 100 Amazing Facts compilation. This video is a full compilation of parts 3 and 4 of our popular 50 Amazing Facts series. From jaw-dropping science to wild history and everything in between, this supercut brings you 100 fascinating, strange, and downright unbelievable facts, all in one place. Whether you're binge-watching or just discovering this series, prepare to have your mind blown. And don't forget to comment your favorite fact below. Let the countdown to amazement begin. Fact 1. Saturn's density. Saturn, the second largest planet in our solar system, is so light for its size that it could float in water, if there were a bathtub big enough to hold it. This fascinating property is due to its incredibly low density, just 0.687 grams per cubic centimeter, which is less than that of water. Saturn is primarily composed of hydrogen and helium, making it a gas giant with a composition similar to the Sun. Despite its low density, Saturn's immense size and mass make it a dominating force in the solar system, surrounded by stunning rings made of ice and rock. Fact 2. Bees can recognize faces. Bees are not only vital pollinators, but also have cognitive abilities that rival some higher animals. In experiments, researchers discovered that bees can recognize and remember human faces by using a method called configural processing. This ability, similar to how humans perceive faces, allows bees to identify patterns and associate them with rewards. These tiny creatures possess remarkable memory skills, capable of navigating vast distances and finding their way back to the hive. It's another reminder that even the smallest beings can have extraordinary abilities. Fact 3. Sea cucumbers can defend themselves by ejecting their organs. Sea cucumbers have one of the most bizarre defense mechanisms in the animal kingdom. When under threat, they eject their internal organs, such as parts of their intestines, through their anus to confuse predators. This self-sacrifice may seem extreme, but it's highly effective, giving the sea cucumber time to escape. Over weeks, they regenerate the lost organs completely, making this survival tactic renewable. Beyond their peculiar defense, sea cucumbers play a critical ecological role in recycling nutrients in the ocean floor, acting as natural cleaners of the marine ecosystem. Their resilience and utility make them a fascinating subject of study. Fact 4. Human teeth are as strong as shark teeth. At first glance, it might seem that shark teeth, capable of shredding prey, are far superior to human teeth. Surprisingly, that's not true. Human teeth are made of enamel, the hardest substance in the human body, which is comparable in strength to shark teeth. The main difference lies in functionality. Shark teeth are adapted for gripping and tearing flesh, while human teeth are designed for grinding and chewing. Sharks, however, have a unique advantage. When their teeth wear out or fall out, new ones grow in their place, sometimes as frequently as every few weeks. Humans, unfortunately, only get 2 sets in a lifetime. Fact 5. The world's largest cave has its own ecosystem. Hang Son Doong, located in Vietnam, is the largest cave in the world, stretching over 5.5 miles, 9 kilometers long. What makes this cave extraordinary is its self-sustaining ecosystem. Inside, you'll find lush jungles, flowing rivers, and even clouds formed by its unique microclimate. The cave was formed approximately 2 to 5 million years ago by river water eroding limestone beneath a mountain. Discovered in 1991 but only explored in 2009, Hang Son Doong is so large that it could house a Boeing 747 jet. It offers a glimpse into a hidden world untouched by sunlight, full of rare flora and fauna. Fact 6. There's a pink lake in Australia. Lake Hillier in Western Australia is famous for its striking pink hue, which looks almost artificial. The color comes from a type of salt-loving algae called Dunaliella salina, which produces beta-carotene, the pigment responsible for its unique shade. Interestingly, the pink water retains its color even when bottled. While safe for swimming, Lake Hillier is protected for conservation purposes, and access is limited. This natural wonder continues to intrigue scientists, inspiring research into extremophiles, organisms thriving in conditions that would typically be inhospitable. Fact 7. The first computer bug was a literal bug. In 1947, a team working on an early computer, the Harvard Mark II, found that the system malfunctioned due to a moth stuck in one of its relays. The engineers removed the moth and taped it into their logbook, labeling it the first actual case of a bug being found. This incident popularized the term computer bug, now widely used to describe errors in software or hardware. While today's bugs are virtual, this story highlights how terminology can evolve from peculiar beginnings. Fact 8. The Great Wall of China is held together by rice. One of the secrets to the Great Wall of China's longevity is its construction material, sticky rice. Ancient builders mixed glutinous rice with slaked lime to create a mortar that was not only strong but also resistant to erosion and earthquakes. This innovative use of organic material contributed to the wall's ability to withstand centuries of weathering and conflict. Modern scientists have analyzed this mixture and found it to be stronger than modern cement in certain conditions, a testament to ancient engineering brilliance. Fact 9. The ocean is getting louder. The ocean, once a realm of natural sounds like waves and marine life, is now dominated by human-made noise. Shipping vessels, underwater drilling, and sonar have increased noise levels significantly, disrupting marine ecosystems. For example, whales rely on echolocation for navigation and communication, but increased noise pollution interferes with these crucial behaviors. This rising issue has spurred research into quieter technologies and conservation efforts to protect marine life from the growing cacophony beneath the waves. Fact 10. Peanuts are not nuts. Surprisingly, peanuts are not true nuts, they're legumes. Unlike tree nuts such as almonds and walnuts, peanuts grow underground in pods, making them closer relatives to beans and lentils. They are packed with nutrients like protein and healthy fats, making them a staple food worldwide. Despite their name, peanuts classification often confuses people, but their culinary versatility is undisputed, from peanut butter sandwiches to sauté sauces. Fact 11. Ostriches can run faster than horses. The ostrich, the world's largest bird, can't fly, but it makes up for it with incredible speed. These birds can sprint at up to 45 miles per hour, 72 kilometers per hour, and sustain speeds of 30 miles per hour, 48 kilometers per hour, for longer distances, outrunning most horses. Their powerful legs are not just for speed, they're also formidable weapons, capable of delivering kicks strong enough to fend off predators like lions. Their unique running style involves using their wings for balance, making them one of nature's most efficient runners. Fact 12. Mount Everest grows taller each year. Mount Everest, the tallest mountain in the world, is still growing. Due to the tectonic collision between the Indian and Eurasian plates, the mountain rises by about 4 millimeters annually. This ongoing process began millions of years ago when the two plates first collided, creating the Himalayas. While it's already 29,031.7 feet, 8,848.86 meters, tall, scientists expect Everest to gain a few more inches over time. Its height isn't static, though. Earthquakes can also reduce its elevation slightly. Fact 13. The Amazon rainforest creates its own rain. The Amazon rainforest, often referred to as the lungs of the earth, doesn't just produce oxygen, it also creates its own weather. Through a process called transpiration, trees release water vapor into the atmosphere, which then condenses to form clouds and eventually falls back as rain. This self-sustaining cycle is crucial for maintaining the rainforest's lush ecosystem. The Amazon's ability to generate its own rain is so significant that it influences weather patterns across South America and even globally. However, deforestation threatens this delicate balance, risking climate disruptions far beyond the rainforest itself. Fact 14. Antarctica. has a hidden lake under its ice. Lake Vostok, buried under 2.5 miles of Antarctic ice, is one of the world's most isolated and mysterious bodies of water. Sealed off from the surface for millions of years, this subglacial lake remains liquid due to the immense pressure from the ice above and geothermal heat from the Earth's interior. Scientists are fascinated by Lake Vostok because it could harbor ancient, undiscovered microbial life. Studying it may also provide insights into extraterrestrial environments, like the icy moons of Jupiter and Saturn, where similar conditions might exist. Fact 15. The ocean contains more historical artifacts than all museums combined. Beneath the waves lies an unparalleled treasure trove of history. From sunken ships and lost cities to ancient relics, the ocean holds more historical artifacts than all of the world's museums combined. Many of these shipwrecks and ruins date back thousands of years, offering invaluable insights into human history, trade routes, and ancient civilizations. But the harsh ocean environment also keeps many of these secrets hidden, waiting for future explorers to uncover them. Fact 16. The deepest part of the ocean could fit Mount Everest. The Mariana Trench, the deepest part of the Earth's oceans, plunges to a staggering depth of about 36,000 feet, 11,000 meters, at its lowest point, known as the Challenger Deep. This means it's deep enough to submerge Mount Everest entirely, with more than a mile of water to spare. The pressure at these depths is over 1,000 times greater than at sea level, creating a hostile environment. Yet life persists here, with bizarre creatures like the anglerfish and xenophyophores calling it home. Fact 17. Trees communicate with each other. Forests are not just collections of individual trees. They are interconnected ecosystems where trees communicate via underground fungal networks, often referred to as the wood wide web. Through these networks, trees can share nutrients, warn each other of pests, and even support weaker neighbors by transferring resources. This symbiotic relationship with fungi highlights the complexity and interdependence of forest ecosystems, showing how nature thrives through cooperation rather than competition. Fact 18. Glass is technically a liquid. Though it appears solid, glass is technically an amorphous solid, meaning it doesn't have a crystalline structure like true solids. This unique state gives glass some properties of liquids, such as the ability to flow, albeit extremely slowly. Over centuries, older glass windows have sometimes been observed to become slightly thicker at the bottom, supporting this claim. However, modern science attributes most of these effects to imperfections during the glass-making process rather than long-term flowing. Fact 19. Some frogs can survive being frozen. The wood frog, Rana sylvatica, has an extraordinary survival mechanism. It can freeze during winter and come back to life in spring. During freezing, the frog's body produces glucose, which acts like antifreeze, protecting its cells from damage. Its heart stops beating, and its organs temporarily shut down. Once the temperature rises, the frog thaws out and resumes its life. This ability to survive extreme cold offers scientists insights into preserving human organs for transplantation. Fact 20. Saturn's moon Titan has rivers and lakes. Saturn's largest moon, Titan, is the only celestial body other than Earth known to have stable liquid on its surface. However, instead of water, Titan's rivers and lakes are made of methane and ethane, hydrocarbons that are liquid at its frigid temperatures. Titan's thick atmosphere and surface activity make it one of the most intriguing targets for exploring the possibility of alien life in our solar system. Fact 21. The longest living animal is a clam. A quahog clam named Ming holds the record for the longest living animal, estimated to be 507 years old when it was discovered in 2006. These clams, native to the North Atlantic, grow extremely slowly and can survive in cold, stable environments. Scientists study these clams to understand environmental changes over centuries, as their growth rings provide a natural timeline of historical climate data. Fact 22. The Earth's core spins faster than its surface. The Earth's inner core, composed primarily of iron and nickel, rotates slightly faster than the planet's surface. This phenomenon, called superrotation, occurs due to interactions between the core and the Earth's magnetic field. The difference in rotation rates, though tiny, just a fraction of a degree per year, has significant implications for understanding the planet's magnetic field and geological processes. Fact 23. Some plants can hear water. Recent studies have shown that certain plants can detect the sound of water moving through soil or pipes. The roots of these plants grow toward the source of the sound, even without direct contact with water. This discovery suggests that plants may have a rudimentary form of acoustic perception, allowing them to survive better in dry environments by seeking out water sources beneath the surface. Fact 24. Blue whales are louder than jet engines. The blue whale, the largest animal on Earth, can produce vocalizations reaching 188 decibels, louder than a jet engine. These calls can travel for hundreds of miles underwater, allowing whales to communicate across vast oceanic distances. Despite their size and strength, blue whales rely on these powerful songs to locate mates and navigate the deep sea. Fact 25. Pigeons can recognize themselves in mirrors. Pigeons are among the few species that can pass the mirror test, a key indicator of self-awareness. When placed in front of a mirror, pigeons recognize their reflection and can even identify markings on their bodies that aren't visible without the mirror. This ability places pigeons in an elite group of intelligent animals, alongside dolphins, elephants, and certain primates. Fact 26. A cloud can weigh over 1 million pounds. Despite their fluffy appearance, clouds are incredibly heavy. A typical cumulus cloud can weigh over 1.1 million pounds, 500,000 kilograms. This weight comes from the water droplets suspended in the air. The reason clouds don't fall to the ground is that the droplets are spread over a vast area and supported by rising air currents. Fact 27. Gorillas hum while eating. Gorillas have been observed humming or singing while they eat, especially when they are enjoying their favorite foods. Scientists believe this behavior could be a way to express satisfaction, coordinate mealtimes within the group, or signal that it's time to relax. This endearing trait shows how emotionally complex and socially aware gorillas can be. Fact 28. Your body contains gold. The human body naturally contains trace amounts of gold. Most of this gold is found in the blood, with about 0.2 milligrams circulating in an average adult. While this amount is too small to extract, it highlights the fascinating ways in which elements are distributed throughout living organisms. Fact 29. A single teaspoon of honey represents a bee's entire lifetime work. To produce 1 teaspoon of honey, a single bee must visit approximately 2,000 flowers and fly around 55,000 miles. This labor-intensive process reflects the incredible dedication and teamwork within a hive, where thousands of bees collaborate to create and store honey for their colony's survival. Fact 30. There are more trees on Earth than stars in the Milky Way. Estimates suggest there are around 3 trillion trees on Earth, while the Milky Way contains roughly 100 to 400 billion stars. This surprising fact highlights the richness of our planet's ecosystems compared to the vastness of space. Efforts to preserve forests ensure these numbers remain high for future generations. Fact 31. The entire internet weighs about as much as a strawberry. Although the internet is intangible, the electrons and data that power it contribute to a minuscule weight, estimated to be around 50 grams, roughly the same as a strawberry. This calculation is based on the energy required to keep the global network running, reflecting the paradoxical nature of digital existence. Fact 32. The smell of rain has a name, petrichor. That distinct earthy aroma after rain is called petrichor. It's caused by oils released from plants during dry periods, which are absorbed by the ground. When rain falls, it displaces the oils and releases the scent into the air. Geosmin, produced by soil-dwelling bacteria, also contributes to this pleasant fragrance. The smell is so universally loved that perfumers have attempted to recreate it artificially. Fact 33. A shrimp's heart is located in its head. In most shrimp species, the heart is situated near the head, behind the brain. Their open circulatory system means blood flows freely within their body cavity, making this unusual anatomy efficient for their small size and simple body structure. This unique design also allows space in the main body for reproductive organs, optimizing their chances for survival and reproduction. Fact 34. The smallest dinosaur was about the size of a chicken. The Microraptor, one of the smallest known dinosaurs, was roughly the size of a modern chicken. It had feathers and could glide between trees, suggesting early forms of flight in dinosaurs. This small predator lived around 120 million years ago. Fossils show that Microraptor had 4 wings, with feathers on both its arms and legs, making it one of the earliest animals to experiment with flight. Fact 35. Diamonds can be made from peanut butter. Under immense pressure, carbon in peanut butter can be transformed into diamonds. Scientists have successfully replicated this process in labs by applying extreme heat and pressure, mimicking the conditions deep within Earth's mantle. Although it's not a practical way to produce gemstones, this experiment highlights the fascinating relationship between pressure, carbon, and the formation of crystals. Fact 36. The human brain generates enough electricity to power a light bulb. Your brain produces around 20 watts of electrical power, enough to power a small LED light bulb. This electricity is generated by neurons communicating through electrical impulses, transmitting information at speeds of up to 268 miles per hour, 432 kilometers per hour. While the brain's energy output is impressive, it consumes about 20% of the body's total energy, making it one of the most power-hungry organs. Fact 37. The Leaning Tower of Pisa took nearly 200 years to complete. Construction on the Leaning Tower of Pisa began in 1173 and wasn't finished until 1372, nearly 2 centuries later. The tower began tilting due to unstable ground during early construction, causing builders to pause for almost 100 years. This delay likely saved the structure, as the ground settled before the final floors were added, preventing total collapse. Fact 38. The Earth's core is as hot as the sun's surface. The temperature of Earth's inner core is approximately 10,800 degrees Fahrenheit, 6,000 degrees Celsius, roughly the same as the surface of the sun. This heat is generated by radioactive decay and residual energy from Earth's formation. Despite this intense heat, the core remains solid due to the immense pressure at the planet's center. Fact 39. Octopuses can edit their own genes. Octopuses possess a remarkable ability to alter their RNA, essentially editing their genetic instructions in response to environmental changes. This ability allows them to adapt quickly to temperature shifts or injuries. Unlike most animals that rely heavily on DNA, octopuses bypass permanent genetic changes by modifying their RNA on demand, a rare and advanced evolutionary trait. Fact 40. The coldest temperature ever recorded on Earth is negative 144 degrees Fahrenheit. The coldest temperature recorded on Earth was measured in Antarctica at negative 144 degrees Fahrenheit, or negative 98 degrees Celsius. This temperature was detected by satellite during a clear, calm Antarctic night. At such frigid temperatures, exposed human skin can freeze within minutes, and even carbon dioxide can begin to solidify into dry ice. Fact 41. The cheetah's superspeed. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals, capable of reaching speeds up to 75 miles per hour, 120 kilometers per hour, in short bursts covering distances up to 500 meters. What's fascinating is that their acceleration rivals some of the fastest sports cars. They can go from 0 to 60 miles per hour in just a few seconds. This speed is made possible by a unique combination of factors: their lightweight bodies, long legs, non-retractable claws that grip the ground, and an enlarged heart and lungs that allow for rapid oxygen exchange. However, this speed comes at a cost. Cheetahs can only sustain such sprints for short periods due to overheating and exhaustion. Fact 42. A single teaspoon of neutron star material weighs about 6 billion tons. Neutron stars are the remnants of massive stars that have exploded in supernovas. Their gravity compresses matter so densely that a single teaspoon of neutron star material weighs as much as all of humanity combined. The intense gravitational force distorts space-time, and if a neutron star were the size of a city, it would still contain more mass than the Sun. Fact 43. A cockroach can live for weeks without its head. Cockroaches don't rely on their heads to breathe, as they have small holes, spiracles, along their body for respiration. They can survive for up to 3 weeks after decapitation because their nervous system is decentralized. However, they eventually die from dehydration, as they lose the ability to drink water without their mouthparts. Fact 44. Water can boil and freeze at the same time. Under specific conditions known as the triple point, water can exist in all 3 states, solid, liquid, and gas, simultaneously. This occurs at a pressure of 0.06 atmospheres and a temperature of 0.01 degrees Celsius, 32.018 degrees Fahrenheit. This phenomenon is not just theoretical, it's frequently used in laboratories to calibrate thermometers. Fact 45. The loudest sound ever recorded was a volcanic eruption. The 1883 eruption of Krakatoa in Indonesia produced the loudest sound ever recorded on Earth, reaching 310 decibels. The explosion was heard over 3,000 miles away in Australia and ruptured the eardrums of people within 40 miles of the volcano. The pressure waves from the blast circled the globe 3 times, showcasing the immense power of volcanic eruptions. Fact 46. The Great Pyramid of Giza can focus electromagnetic energy. Recent studies suggest that the Great Pyramid of Giza can concentrate electromagnetic energy in its internal chambers and beneath its base. Although the exact reason remains unknown, researchers believe the pyramid's shape and materials contribute to this effect, showcasing the ancient Egyptians' incredible engineering skills. Fact 47. Humans glow. But it's invisible. Humans naturally emit small amounts of light, known as bioluminescence. However, this glow is 1,000 times weaker than what our eyes can detect. Advanced cameras have captured faint patterns of light emitted by our bodies, peaking in brightness during the afternoon. This light is produced by biochemical reactions within the body, particularly from oxidative stress, which may one day offer insight into human health. Fact 48. There's a fungus that turns ants into zombies. The Ophiocordyceps unilateralis fungus infects ants, hijacking their nervous systems. The ant is compelled to climb to a high point, where the fungus bursts through its head to release spores, spreading the infection. This real-life zombie ant phenomenon helps the fungus propagate by ensuring that the spores land in a location where they have the best chance of reaching other ants. This complex parasitic behavior is a marvel of nature's adaptations. Fact 49. There's a hidden ocean on Pluto. Beneath Pluto's icy exterior lies a subsurface ocean of liquid water. Despite the dwarf planet's frigid surface temperatures, heat from radioactive decay keeps the ocean in a liquid state, potentially supporting microbial life. This discovery, made by NASA's New Horizons mission, suggests that Pluto may have the necessary conditions for life, challenging previous assumptions about this distant world. Fact 50. Lightning strikes can create glass in sand. When lightning strikes sandy beaches, the intense heat, up to 54,000 degrees Fahrenheit or 30,000 degrees Celsius, fuses the sand into glass tubes called fulgurites. These natural sculptures preserve the path of the lightning bolt underground. The glass tubes are hollow and can vary in size, forming intricate shapes that capture the power and intensity of the lightning strike. Some scientists even use fulgurites to study the electrical properties of lightning. Fact 51. The northern lights can produce sounds. Did you know that the stunning northern lights, also known as aurora borealis, can actually produce sounds? In 2016, researchers used specialized equipment to record faint crackling and hissing noises during intense auroral displays. These noises are typically very subtle, but during particularly vibrant and energetic displays, you might even be able to hear a faint buzz or crackle. This auditory phenomenon is still a topic of ongoing study, and it could change how we experience the beauty of the aurora in the future. Fact 52. Ants rest for about 8 minutes in a 12-hour period. Ants are incredibly industrious creatures, and despite their constant activity, they actually take short breaks throughout the day. In fact, ants rest for approximately 8 minutes during a 12-hour period. This means that ants work in short bursts, staying active for most of the day but taking quick naps when needed. It's a fascinating survival strategy that allows them to keep working without burning out. Imagine if we humans could function like that. Fact 52. New Year's baby odds. The odds of giving birth to a baby exactly at 12:01 a.m. on January 1st are about 1 in 526,000. While many parents hope for a New Year's baby, it's actually an incredibly rare occurrence. Hospitals often celebrate the first baby born each year, making it a fun and memorable milestone for both the child and their family. Fact 54. Australia is wider than the moon. Believe it or not, Australia is actually wider than the moon. The moon's diameter is about 3,474 kilometers, while Australia's width from east to west is roughly 4,000 kilometers. So, if you could lay the moon over Australia, it wouldn't quite stretch across the continent. Pretty mind-blowing, right? Fact 55. Female bats give birth while hanging upside down. Female bats give birth while hanging upside down, and what happens next is nothing short of incredible. As the baby bat, known as a pup, is born, gravity naturally pulls it downward, but the mother is ready. With amazing reflexes, she catches the tiny pup in her wings or the skin membrane of her tail, preventing it from falling to the ground. This remarkable instinct shows just how adapted bats are to their unique lifestyles. Fact 56. Blood-curdling is more than just a saying. The term blood-curdling isn't just a spooky expression, it has a basis in real science. Research has shown that watching horror movies can actually increase the levels of a blood-clotting protein called factor VIII in our bloodstream. This means that when you're terrified during a scary scene, your body might be preparing for potential injury, just like it would in a real-life danger scenario. So next time you feel your blood run cold during a horror flick, remember, it kind of is. Fact 57. Most vegetarians and vegans eventually go back to eating meat. According to a poll of 11,000 Americans, a surprising 84% of people who identified as vegetarians or vegans eventually returned to eating meat. The reasons vary, from social pressures and convenience to cravings and health concerns. This shows that while plant-based diets are popular, sticking to them long-term can be a real challenge for many people. Fact 57. Bolton, a boulder, suspended in time. The Bolton boulder, found wedged in a mountain crevasse on Norway's Cherag Mountain, was left behind during the last ice age when retreating glaciers deposited it in its current position. Miraculously stuck between two cliffs over a 3,000-foot drop, this natural wonder has become a famous photo spot and a thrilling launch point for base jumpers from around the world. Fact 59. Lobsters have bladders in their heads. It might sound strange, but it's true. Lobsters have bladders located in their heads, just behind their eyes. Even more fascinating, they use these bladders to communicate. When lobsters want to establish dominance or attract a mate, they squirt out pheromone-laced urine from their bladders through nozzles near their faces. In the world of lobsters, communication really is all in the head. Fact 60. Camels have 3 eyelids to protect themselves from the blowing desert sand. Camels are perfectly adapted to life in the harsh desert environment, and one of their coolest features is their 3 eyelids. 2 of these eyelids have lashes to keep out sand, while the third is a thin, transparent membrane that acts like a windshield wiper. It allows camels to see while still protecting their eyes from the constant blowing desert sand. This clever design helps them survive sandstorms without missing a step. Nature really knew what it was doing. Fact 61. Minus 40 degrees Celsius is exactly the same as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. It might sound surprising, but minus 40 degrees Celsius is exactly the same as minus 40 degrees Fahrenheit. This is the one point where the 2 temperature scales intersect. Plug in negative 40 for Celsius, and you'll get negative 40 Fahrenheit. So, whether you're in Canada or the US, if it's minus 40, it's just freezing cold, no conversions needed. Fact 62. Chocolate is dangerous for dogs. Chocolate may be a sweet treat for humans, but for dogs it can be deadly. That's because it contains theobromine, a compound that dogs can't metabolize effectively. Even small amounts can cause symptoms like vomiting, diarrhea, rapid heart rate, seizures, and, in severe cases, even death. Dark chocolate and baking chocolate are especially dangerous due to their high theobromine content. Fact 63. A snail can sleep for 3 years. Believe it or not, some snails can sleep for up to 3 years. This happens when conditions are harsh, like extreme dryness or heat, and the snail goes into a state called hibernation or estivation to conserve energy and moisture. During this time, the snail seals itself inside its shell with a layer of mucus to stay protected. Once the environment becomes favorable again, it wakes up and resumes its slow-paced life. Fact 64. Lemons float while limes sink. Ever noticed how lemons float in water while limes usually sink? That's because lemons are slightly less dense than water, thanks to their thicker, more porous rinds filled with tiny air pockets. Limes, on the other hand, tend to be denser and heavier, with thinner skins and fewer air pockets, causing them to sink when placed in water. It's a fun and simple science trick that shows how density and buoyancy work. Fact 65. A strange Welsh tradition about baby nails. According to a 19th century Welsh tradition, cutting an infant's nails before the age of 6 months was believed to bring bad luck, specifically that the child would grow up to become a thief. Instead of using nail clippers or scissors, parents were advised to bite the baby's nails gently to avoid this supposed fate. While this may sound odd today, it reflects how folklore once shaped everyday parenting practices in fascinating and superstitious ways. Fact 66. Jenga bricks aren't identical. While Jenga blocks might look exactly the same, they actually have subtle differences in size and weight. These slight variations are intentional, making the game more unpredictable and challenging. The inconsistent dimensions cause the tower to be less stable, meaning no 2 games are ever quite the same. That's part of what makes Jenga so fun. It's not just about steady hands, but also about adapting to the quirks of each unique tower. Fact 67. A group of ferrets is called a business. It might sound like a corporate term, but it's true. A group of ferrets is called a business. This unusual collective noun dates back to Old English usage, where busyness described a group of animals. Over time, the spelling evolved into business. So next time you see a bunch of playful ferrets running around, just know you're witnessing a very busy business in action. Fact 68. Africa is the only continent with land in all 4 hemispheres. Africa holds a unique geographical distinction. It is the only continent that has land in all 4 hemispheres: northern, southern, eastern, and western. The equator cuts across the middle of the continent, placing parts of it in both the northern and southern hemispheres, while the prime meridian runs through West Africa, dividing the land into the eastern and western hemispheres. This makes Africa not just rich in culture and biodiversity, but also uniquely positioned on the globe. Fact 69. Cotton candy were invented by dentists. Believe it or not, cotton candy was co-invented by a dentist. In 1897, a dentist named Dr. William Morrison teamed up with a confectioner named John C. Wharton to create a machine that could melt sugar and spin it into fine strands, what we now know as cotton candy. They debuted their sugary invention at the 1904 World's Fair, where it was a huge hit. Ironically, the treat became a favorite among kids, even though it was invented by someone who worked to protect teeth. Fact 70. An avocado never ripens on the tree. Here's something fascinating about avocados. They don't ripen on the tree. That means farmers can leave them hanging on the tree for months without them spoiling. In fact, trees act like natural storage units, keeping the avocados fresh for up to 7 months. This gives farmers greater control over when to harvest, allowing them to better meet market demand. Once picked, the ripening process kicks in, and within a few days at room temperature, you've got a perfectly soft, ready-to-eat avocado. Fact 71. Chinese checkers isn't actually Chinese. Despite its name, Chinese checkers was not invented in China. In fact, it was created in Germany in 1892 under the name Stern Halma. It was a variation of the American game Halma, and the star-shaped board made it visually distinct. The name Chinese checkers was later adopted by American marketers in the 1920s to give the game a more exotic appeal. So, while it may sound Eastern, its roots are purely European. Fact 72. A quiet trait of intelligence. One common habit of highly intelligent people is that they often get easily annoyed by those around them, but they usually choose to stay silent. Why? Because they know that reacting impulsively or starting a pointless argument won't solve anything. Instead, they prefer to preserve their peace of mind and avoid unnecessary conflict. It's not about bottling things up, it's about using emotional intelligence to pick their battles wisely. Fact 73. It would take you approximately 18 months to walk all the way along the Great Wall of China. The Great Wall of China is one of the most iconic structures in the world, stretching over 5,000 miles across mountains, deserts, and grasslands. If you decided to walk its entire length, it would take you approximately 18 months. That's assuming you walk every single day without long breaks. The journey would be physically demanding, but also a once-in-a-lifetime adventure through history, culture, and some of the most stunning landscapes in China. Fact 74. At birth, a baby panda is smaller than a mouse. Believe it or not, a newborn panda is smaller than a mouse. While adult giant pandas can weigh over 200 pounds, their babies are born incredibly tiny, usually weighing just about 3 to 5 ounces, 85 to 140 grams. That's about the size of a stick of butter. These fragile little creatures are pink, hairless, and completely helpless, relying entirely on their mothers for warmth and protection. It's one of nature's most surprising size differences between parent and offspring. Fact 75. Iceland does not have a railway system. Unlike many other developed countries, Iceland does not have a public railway system. The country's rugged terrain, sparse population, and widespread use of cars have made building a railway network impractical. While there have been discussions and proposals over the years, especially for a line connecting the capital Reykjavik to the airport in Keflavik, none have come to fruition. Instead, Iceland relies heavily on well-maintained roads and domestic flights to connect its towns and cities. Fact 76. The devil's number on the roulette wheel. Here's a spooky little fact. If you add up all the numbers on a standard roulette wheel, from 1 to 36, the total comes out to 666. That's right, the so-called number of the beast from the Bible. While it's probably just a coincidence, this eerie total has led to some people calling roulette the devil's game. Whether you're superstitious or not, it definitely adds a mysterious twist to the casino floor. Fact 77. The unique muscle, your tongue. The tongue is truly one of the most fascinating muscles in the human body. It's often said to be the only muscle attached at just one end, which gives it a wide range of motion and flexibility. This unique attachment allows it to move in all directions, essential for speaking, eating, swallowing, and even expressing emotions. While it's technically made up of a group of muscles working together, its free end and anchored base make it a standout among the body's muscular system. Fact 78. Hawaiian pizza is a Canadian invention. Despite its tropical name, Hawaiian pizza didn't come from Hawaii at all. It was actually invented in Canada. In 1962, Sam Panopoulos, a Greek immigrant living in Ontario, decided to add pineapple to a traditional ham pizza just to see how it would taste. The sweet and savory combo caught on, and thus Hawaiian pizza was born. It's still a hot topic among pizza lovers. Some people love it, others strongly disagree with putting fruit on pizza. But one thing's for sure, this pineapple-topped pie has Canadian roots. Fact 79. Only 5% of the ocean has been explored. Even though oceans cover more than 70% of the Earth's surface, only about 5% of them have been explored and mapped in any detail. That means the vast majority of our planet's underwater world remains a mystery. Scientists believe there are countless undiscovered species, deep-sea ecosystems, and even ancient shipwrecks waiting to be found. The ocean's depth, darkness, and pressure make it incredibly difficult to explore. But with advancing technology, we're slowly uncovering its secrets. It's like Earth's own final frontier. Fact 80. St. Lucia is the only country in the world named after a woman. St. Lucia holds a unique place in the world. It is the only country named after a woman. The island nation in the Caribbean was named after St. Lucy of Syracuse, a Christian martyr from the 4th century. According to legend, French sailors were shipwrecked on the island on December 13th, the feast day of St. Lucy, and named the island in her honor. While many countries are named after men or male rulers, St. Lucia proudly stands out as a tribute to a woman in history. Fact 81. In Uganda, around 48% of the population is under 15 years of age. Uganda has one of the youngest populations globally, with around 48% of its people under the age of 15. This striking statistic reflects the country's high birth rate and growing population. With nearly half the population being children, Uganda faces both challenges and opportunities, from the pressure to provide education, healthcare, and jobs, to the potential of a vibrant, youthful workforce that could drive future economic growth. Fact 82. On average, men get bored of a shopping trip after 26 minutes. According to surveys, men get bored of shopping after just 26 minutes on average. In contrast, many women can shop for up to 2 hours before losing interest. Researchers believe this difference comes down to shopping styles. Men tend to shop with a purpose, wanting to get what they need and leave, while women are more likely to browse and explore. It's no wonder you'll often find men waiting outside stores or sitting on benches checking their phones. Fact 83. Recycling just one tin can save enough energy to watch television for 3 hours. Recycling just one tin can may seem like a small act, but it makes a huge difference. That single can saves enough energy to power a television for 3 whole hours. Imagine the impact if everyone recycled their cans regularly. We could conserve massive amounts of energy, reduce waste in landfills, and help the environment. It's a simple step with powerful results. Fact 84. Armadillos are bulletproof. Armadillos have a tough, leathery shell made of bone and keratin, and there have been rare cases where bullets have ricocheted off their armor. While it's true that their shell offers impressive protection, calling them bulletproof is a bit of an exaggeration, and definitely not something to test. Just admire these armored creatures for their unique defense system and leave the science to the professionals. Fact 85. Acacia trees in Africa communicate with each other. Acacia trees in Africa have developed an incredible defense mechanism. They communicate with each other. When grazed by animals like giraffes, the trees release ethylene gas into the air. Nearby acacia trees detect this gas and respond by producing higher levels of tannin, a bitter chemical that deters animals from eating their leaves. It's a fascinating example of how plants can work together silently to survive and protect each other in the wild. Fact 86. The national flag with the most colors in it is Belize. The national flag of Belize, adopted in 1981, holds a unique distinction. It features the most colors of any national flag in the world, with a total of 12 different colors. The detailed design includes 2 men, tools, a tree, and a scroll, all symbolizing the country's history and industries. Its vibrant and intricate imagery makes it stand out among world flags, reflecting Belize's diverse culture and rich heritage. Fact 87. Squirrels cause approximately 10 to 20% of U.S. power outages. Believe it or not, squirrels are responsible for around 10 to 20% of power outages in the United States each year. These curious little creatures often chew through electrical wires or accidentally short-circuit transformers by climbing on power lines and equipment. While they're cute and harmless-looking, their mischief can disrupt electricity for thousands of homes. In fact, some utility companies even track squirrel-related outages separately, showing just how common the problem really is. Fact 88. 95% of people text things they could never say in person. Studies show that 95% of people admit to texting things they could never say in person. Whether it's confessing feelings, confronting someone, or speaking their mind, texting provides a sense of safety and distance. It allows people to express emotions and thoughts more freely without facing the immediate reactions or consequences of a face-to-face conversation. In a digital world, courage often comes in the form of typing instead of talking. Fact 89. There are a total of 1,710 steps in the Eiffel Tower. If you're feeling adventurous and want to skip the elevator, be prepared for a workout. The Eiffel Tower has a total of 1,710 steps. However, visitors are only allowed to climb up to the second floor, which involves around 674 steps. The full stairway all the way to the top is usually reserved for maintenance. So while most people take in the view from the lifts, some choose to earn it the hard way. One step at a time. Fact 90. Violin bows are commonly made from horsehair. Most traditional violin bows are strung with real horsehair. The hair typically comes from the tails of horses, often from colder climates like Mongolia or Siberia, where the strands are thicker and stronger. It takes around 150 to 200 individual hairs to string a single bow. The hair is coated with rosin, a type of tree sap, to help it grip the strings and create that beautiful sound. While synthetic options do exist today, many professional musicians still prefer genuine horsehair for its tone and feel. Fact 91. Standing around burns calories. It might surprise you, but just standing around burns calories. On average, a person who weighs around 150 pounds can burn approximately 114 calories per hour simply by standing and doing nothing at all. While it's not the same as hitting the gym, swapping some sitting time for standing can add up over the day. Over time, this small change can support better posture, improved circulation, and even weight management. So, standing meetings or a standing desk might be more beneficial than they seem. Fact 92. GPS isn't really free. It costs millions daily. Although we all enjoy using GPS for free on our phones, cars, and gadgets, it's not truly costless. In reality, it costs about $2 million every single day to operate the GPS system. This massive expense covers things like satellite maintenance, updates, monitoring stations, and personnel. Interestingly, the entire system is funded by U.S. taxpayers through American tax revenue. Fact 93. The color red doesn't really make bulls angry. Contrary to popular belief, the color red doesn't make bulls angry. In fact, bulls are color blind to red. What actually triggers their aggression is the movement of the matador's cape, not its color. The myth likely comes from traditional bullfighting, where the matador waves a red cape called a muleta. The red color is more for the audience's dramatic effect and to mask blood, not to provoke the bull. So it's not the shade, it's the shake that sets them off. Fact 94. Flossing your teeth might boost your memory. Believe it or not, flossing isn't just good for your teeth, it might also help your brain. Researchers have found that flossing can support memory function. How? Well, flossing helps prevent gum disease, and gum disease has been linked to inflammation and stiffening of blood vessels, including those that supply blood to the brain. Poor blood flow to the brain can lead to memory problems over time. Fact 95. A group of owls is called a parliament. When owls gather together, they're not just a group, they're called a parliament. This unique and elegant term is believed to come from folklore and literature, where owls were often seen as wise and noble creatures. The idea of a parliament of owls adds a mystical charm to these already fascinating birds. So next time you see more than one owl perched together, you can impress your friends by saying, "Look, a parliament of owls." Fact 96. The oldest country in the world. Egypt holds the title of being the oldest country in the world, with its origins dating back to around 3100 BCE. This was when King Menes is believed to have united Upper and Lower Egypt, forming the first dynasty and establishing one of the most advanced and powerful civilizations of the ancient world. From the construction of the pyramids to the development of writing systems, mathematics, and medicine, Egypt's legacy continues to amaze and influence the world thousands of years later. Fact 97. If you heat up a magnet, it will lose its magnetism. When you heat up a magnet, it can actually lose its magnetism. That's because high temperatures cause the atoms inside the magnet to move more rapidly and randomly, disrupting their aligned magnetic domains. Once the temperature crosses a certain point, called the Curie temperature, the magnet can no longer hold its magnetic properties. This is why magnets used in high-heat environments must be made from special materials designed to withstand the heat. Fact 98. 92% of the world's currency is digital. An incredible 92% of the world's currency is digital. That means most of the money we use every day doesn't exist as coins or bills. It exists only as numbers in a computer system. From online bank transfers and credit card payments to digital wallets and cryptocurrencies, physical cash makes up just a tiny fraction of global money. Fact 99. Tears tell you the reason for someone crying. According to some scientists, the eye your first tear falls from can reveal the reason behind your crying. If the first drop falls from your right eye, it's said to be a sign of joy or happiness. But if it comes from the left eye, it's believed to be caused by pain or sadness. While this isn't a hard scientific rule, it's a fascinating idea that our body might express different emotions in subtle ways, even through our tears. Fact 100. Russia is the most forested country in the world. Russia holds the title of the most forested country in the world, with an incredible 815 million hectares of forest land. That's nearly 1/5 of all the forest area on Earth. These vast forests play a crucial role in absorbing carbon dioxide, supporting biodiversity, and regulating the global climate. The Russian taiga, which stretches across Siberia, is the largest forest in the world and home to countless species of plants and animals. Thanks for watching this mega compilation of 100 amazing facts. If you made it all the way through, you're officially a facts champion. Don't forget to check out part 1 if you haven't already, and hit that like, subscribe, and bell so you won't miss future fact-filled adventures. Which fact blew your mind the most? Drop it in the comments below, and stay curious.